Hello students. So today our topic of discussion is circulation of blood in humans. In previous video we have done about the transportation in humans. So there we studied about the blood vessels and the heart. If you want to have the information regarding that, I will put a link and you please go through that. So today, before I start with the video, if you feel it that it is of use of your use, then please do subscribe the video and give a like to it. Let's start with the blood circulation in humans. About the heart we have to discuss today. So heart, it is muscular organ which has the capacity to circulate the blood to the whole body. Its shape is of that of clenched fist and it lies here in the chest cavity, a little bit tilted towards the left side, but it is not on the left. Secondly, it is surrounded by the rib cage surrounding it. Rib cage gives it a protective covering. It saves it from shocks. Not only the rib cage, but there are two layers of pericardium, a layer of, we can say, skin, which has to protect it. In between these two layers, there is a liquid called the pericardial fluid, which further helps in the shock absorption, or we can say that it helps like a cushion. Then, if we talk about the heart, as the heart carries the blood and the blood no doubt has some pressure, so the pressure which is exerted by the blood on the walls of blood vessels, that is what we call the blood pressure. Normally, for a normal human being, the blood pressure is 120/80, and it is actually a systolic and diastolic pressure combinedly called the blood pressure. Systole is the one when the arteries or the veins relax. We call it systole, and the pressure at that time is called systolic pressure. On the other hand, when they contract, that is called diastole, and the pressure at that time is called the diastolic pressure. So systolic pressure of normal human being is 120 millimeter of mercury, whereas diastolic pressure is 80 millimeter of mercury. Then let's discuss about the heart. This is the sectional view of heart. We have cut it from the center, and then what we find, the heart contains four chambers. The upper two, they are called the auricles or the atria, and the lower two are the ventricles. The left side of heart, you can see here, I have shown it with the blue color. Right side of heart I have shown with the blue color, and the left side I have shown with the red color, and in between the two there is a gap. Actually, this side, the right side, it receives deoxygenated blood, and which is shown with the blue color, and the left side receives the oxygenated blood, that is the red one. This center line is the septum, that is a wall, a thick muscular wall which is present in between the auricle, left side as well as the right side, auricles as well as ventricles both, and the function of it is, it will not allow the intermixing of the oxygenated and the deoxygenated blood with one another. Now let's discuss it in detail. First of all, the blood comes to the right chamber of heart, that is the right atrium, from the different body parts, that is superior and inferior vena cava. These are the two large veins, or combinedly we call it vena cava. So it is the largest vein of the body which carries the deoxygenated blood towards the heart, and where it pours it into the atrium. Then that deoxygenated blood is transferred to the ventricle, and in between the two, here there is the tricuspid valve which opens only in downward direction. So when the atrium will contract, then it will force the blood here only, and after that, when the blood is collected here and the ventricle contract, that is when the ventricle shows the diastole, at that time there you can see the pulmonary artery, and this pulmonary artery carries the deoxygenated blood to the lungs. Keep in mind, pulmonary artery is the exceptional artery which carries deoxygenated blood. Otherwise, all the arteries carry oxygenated blood. Then In the lungs, purification takes place. You might be remembering the respiratory system. There we discussed that how the exchange of gases takes place in the lungs. If you have not seen that video, then please go through that video so that you can understand all the things very clearly. Then the lungs oxygenate the blood. The whatsoever blood is coming from the pulmonary artery to the lungs, it is oxygenated, and the pulmonary vein, again an exception of the vein which carries the oxygenated blood to the heart, and where it pours it? In the left atrium. Then when the left atrium contracts, that blood is poured to the left ventricle. On the contraction of left ventricle through the aorta, it circulates to the whole body. It is not that simple as it appears to be. Actually what happens, both the auricles as well as the ventricles contract at the same time. So let me explain you the mechanism of the circulation of blood in humans. First of all, what happens? There will be systole, and that is what we call the auricular systole. Both the auricles will relax. As they relax, what happens? The surface area will increase and the blood comes to the auricles. Here vena cava pours the blood to the right auricle. Here pulmonary vein pours the blood to the left auricle. So they both are filled with the blood. After that they both will contract. As soon as they both contract, the surface area decreases and cannot carry that much volume, and the blood moves downward to the ventricles. Both the ventricles are filled at the same time. That is what we call the systole of the ventricles. In the beginning, systole of auricle took place, due to which auricles were filled. Then they diastole, that is contract. When they contract or when they diastole, at the same time ventricles will systole, ventricles will relax. Okay, and ventricles relax means the blood is poured to the ventricles. Both the ventricles get filled. After that the ventricles will contract. So these both will contract, and what will happen? From here the pulmonary artery will carry the blood to the lungs for purification. From here the aorta will carry the blood to the different body organs. Now let me explain this topic in flowchart, because this is very important topic. Many a times they ask that why the circulation of blood in humans called double circulation. This system is actually called double circulation. Now why so? Because blood flows twice through heart during one complete cycle. Writing of one complete cycle is very important. Otherwise, if you write the blood flows twice through heart, it is useless, because blood flows thousands of times through the heart, millions of times through the heart. But if we say blood flows twice through heart in one cycle, then the definition is complete. Now have a look on the flow chart of double circulation. Here heart is shown with this box. Upper two chambers are auricles and lower two are ventricles. First of all, the aorta carries oxygenated blood from left ventricle to the different body organs. Here it pours the oxygen to the cells. It supplies the oxygen to cell and absorbs the carbon dioxide. That carbon dioxide rich blood is carried through the inferior and superior vena cava, the largest vein of our body, to the right atrium, and from right auricle it goes to right ventricle. From right ventricle, pulmonary artery carries the blood to the lungs for purification, and putting of arrows is must, because they tell the direction in which the blood flows. Otherwise the flow chart is incomplete. From the lungs, pulmonary vein carries that oxygenated blood to the left atrium. As soon as it reaches the left atrium, then it is poured to left ventricle. From left ventricle again it passes through aorta, which is the largest artery of body, to the different body parts. Now why it is double circulation? I have put here, if you see, this is the number 1 and here number 2. These are the two circulations which are taking place during one complete cycle. Now see what are they. The very first is from the right ventricle, pulmonary artery carries deoxygenated blood to lungs, and then pulmonary vein carries oxygenated blood to left auricle, means move from heart to the lungs and back to heart. This is one cycle, and as it is moving to the lungs, for the lungs pulmonary word is used, so we call it pulmonary circulation. You can see here pulmonary artery, pulmonary vein. Pulmonary is for the lungs. So the first circulation, right ventricle to the lungs, from lungs to the left auricle, this is pulmonary circulation. Then come to the second part. From the left ventricle, aorta carries blood to body, that is oxygenated blood, and deoxygenated blood is carried through vena cava to right auricle. This means left ventricle to the body and body to the right auricle or atrium. This means this is the second cycle. And as it is going to the different systems of body, we call it systemic circulation. So there are two types of circulation. One is pulmonary, second is systemic, and combinedly they are called the double circulation. So hope everything is clear to you. That is very, very important topic. Usually it is asked in 3 marks question. So be careful while drawing it. You have to mention the name of the arteries, veins and the chambers of the heart. And secondly, arrows should be in the proper direction. Then mention the types of circulation which combinedly form the double circulation. So hope everything is clear to you. And if you have any doubt, please do write to me so that I can clear your doubts, and do subscribe for the latest updates of the video. Hopefully very soon I am going to post the video on the next chapter, that is the electricity.